Hey everyone, Ron Milligan with Remax Select here. Happy September. Boy, holy buckets, we're already halfway through the month. I can't believe that. So I've got the latest market statistics. I've got a couple of sets here. One is the market action, which RMLS puts out for the full metro, or this is for the metro area Oregon side only. Not Washington, doesn't include any of the Vancouver, Southwest Washington statistics. So this is just south of the border. This is for the most recent complete month of numbers that we have. The big thing in the numbers that we saw was the average sale price and this average sale price increase that we're talking about is comparing the first 8 months of 2020 to the first 8 months of 2021. So it's kind of a bigger, slower average, a big sample of numbers that we're dealing with rather than the smaller samples that we see with our weekly statistics. So the average sale price right now increase is around 18.5%, which is still really high, but it is down from what we saw towards the end of spring, which was in the mid-19s. So normal, not a big deal, because in like a typical year in Portland, our highest average sale price is probably going to be in May sometime, and then throughout the rest of the year, that number is just going to drop back until we get into the next year and enter into our spring buying season again, and then that number is going to pop back up again, hit its high, and then just keep backing off throughout the rest of the year. So not a big surprise there, but compared to last year, that number kept increasing throughout the year because our market was just taking off like a rocket from about June or July on. And then, of course, we had that crazy frenzy in 2021, in the spring of 2021. So this is looking a little bit more like a normal year. The inventory in months is at 1 month of inventory. Again, that's a measure of the supply of active listings plus the demand from buyers. So 1 month of inventory is still extremely low. That's still seller's market territory, deep into seller's market territory. Like a normal average market would be 4 to 6 months of inventory, maybe even as low as 3 months of inventory would be more of a balanced market, neither a buyer's nor seller's market. So 1 month of inventory is up from 2 months ago in June, where we hit, or actually in May, where we hit the lowest inventory, which was 0.7 months of inventory, and it's increased to 1 month of inventory. Keep in mind that if we had been coming from, a month and a half of inventory, which is what we've been dealing with pretty much leading up to the coronavirus, if we'd been seeing like a month and a half of inventory and we got down to 1 month of inventory, we'd be going crazy about how there's very little to buy. So it's still very, very deep in seller's market territory. Looking at the weekly numbers, which is showing us hopefully where we're headed. Right now we're in a little bit of an unclear spot because we had last week a vacation week with Labor Day, and it was a shorter work week, so the number of sales that we had was lower than we typically see. But looking at the numbers, the week before we had seen our first big decline in the supply, so that the number of active listings. From March on, we've been talking about how the inventory of available homes to purchase had been increasing by about 100 homes, give or take, per week. And then a couple of weeks ago, we saw the first big drop of about 150 homes. However, last week with our shortened work week, I think a lot of people getting organized back to school, realtors getting busy, sending folks back, their kids back to school, we lost that game. So we ended up where we were before that 150 home drop. The other indicators, though, that we're seeing is that the market is slowing down. The average sale price versus the original list price has been declining. At one point, we're as high as 104%. So someone would list their home, and on average, houses were selling for 104% over the asking price. Right now, that number is around 101.5%. So that number's been decreasing as the days on market have been increasing. So that says that we've got fewer buyers, which we know, in our pool of potential buyers for the number of homes that are on the market. but homes that are hitting the market are still selling relatively quickly. So that's what I've got for you right now. Let me know if you have any questions about those stats, and we should have a link down below showing you that you can go to the full How's the Market page, see all these numbers in context, and see past week's numbers as well. So all real estate is local. If you have questions about what's going on in your neck of the woods, just reach out to me. I'm more than happy to do a little research and share what I find out. All right, see you soon.